Hey, it's Dr. Andrew Advani, researcher at the Keenan Research Centre. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you do here at your lab?
In my lab, we research diabetes. Now, diabetes happens when the sugar levels in your blood are too high. When the sugar levels in your blood are too high for too long, it can cause long-term damage to your body, like kidney disease and heart disease. That long-term damage is called complications, and in my lab, we're looking for new treatments for diabetes complications.
Let's start walking. Why did you decide to study diabetes?
Likely, I fell into diabetes by accident. I was originally going to research the causes of heart disease, and diabetes is a major cause of heart disease. And this happened about 20 years ago. When I was doing my PhD, looking at how diabetes causes heart disease in people, I got really interested at the idea that diabetes affecting a person's everyday experience really sits at the intersection of what I call the biomedical and the social. And so I fell in love with researching and providing care for people with diabetes 20 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since.
How does your work as a clinician inform your research and vice versa?
So in my clinic, I look after people with diabetes, primarily young people living with type 1 diabetes. And after a long day in clinic, talking to those people about how diabetes affects their daily lives is nothing more motivating than coming across to the lab, peering down the microscope, and trying to figure out new ways of helping those people with their daily lives.
And have any of the discoveries you made at this lab been used on patients?
Well, that's a great question. So a lot of what we do in the lab is called fundamental research or basic science. That takes a long time to impact patients. Sometimes what happens is a therapy gets developed for lowering sugar levels in people with diabetes and is found accidentally in clinical trials to have beneficial effects like protecting against heart disease and kidney disease. And in our lab, we try and explore those what we call sugar-lowering independent effects of some of those therapies so people can figure out why the medications they're using are having the beneficial effects they are. Some of the other experiments we're doing are really at the very early stage. And that's what's called fundamental research. And that takes a long time to affect patients, but it's very important that we support this kind of research because most of the beneficial effects of most of the beneficial therapies that we are using today, like for example, COVID-19 vaccines, actually came from fundamental research. But we know that this is going to take a long time to benefit patients, and we know that my patients are living with diabetes today. So another thing we're doing is one of our other themes within our research program is exploring the experience of living with diabetes every day so that we can try and help people live with diabetes now and in the future.
What's special about research on organ injury and repair at St. Michael's?
What I really like about organ injury and repair research at St. Mike's is the fact that it's translational. And at St. Michael's Hospital, it's a really great way of crossing the gap between disciplines that are typically siloed. So we can break down those barriers and, for example, research, basic science research, and the experience of living with diabetes.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Well, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the year, I would have said it was Grease 2, which I thought was the greatest sequel ever made, and then Top Gun Maverick came along, which has overtaken that. So I'd say my guilty pleasure is Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Have a great day.
You as well.